Mr. Sanders?
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. I will be happy to work that in. I'll work it in towards the end, though. So, but first, I have a question for you guys. How many bureaucrats does it take to screw in a light bulb? The answer is 7. I'll tell you why. It says 1 to supervise, 1 to arrange for the electricity to be shut off, 1 to make sure that safety and quality standards are maintained, and another 1 to monitor compliance with local, state, and federal regulations, 1 to manage personnel relations, 1 to fill out paperwork, and another 1 to screw the light bulb into the water faucet. People ask me why I want to run for mayor. I want to make sure that doesn't happen to Ridgecrest. I want to make sure that we maintain a very efficient, lean, effective government. And that's because we all live here, we all benefit from the things that the government does for us. But the natural progress for government oftentimes is to become too big and too bloated and ineffective. And it takes a proper mindset and it takes a proper vigilance of our elected officials to make sure that doesn't happen. And so that's really my main focus. But I have several focuses that I want to go over with you. But first I want to do a little bit of an introduction. My name is Jim Sanders. I'm running for mayor. I've been here in the Valley for 9 years, a citizen of Ridgecrest for 9 years. Here today with my lovely wife, Celeste. I got 3 beautiful kids, and we all really enjoy living in Ridgecrest. I've been an engineer on the base, aerospace engineer for 9 years, and served with the city as a planning commissioner for 2 years, and in the past 4 years I've been on the city council. You know, within the first year of moving here, I grew to have a tremendous love and respect for this community. And I think the thing that I loved the very most really was the Parade of 1,000 Flags. When I saw that, my heart just melted and I just fell in love with this community because there's such a tremendous amount of patriotism in this community, such a tremendous amount of family values, and it's just such a great place to raise kids. And those are the things I want to preserve. So real quick, these are the 3 my main focuses that I want to protect and work on as mayor, as the next mayor. Public safety is my #1 priority. I'm glad Tom mentioned Measure V. I absolutely support Measure V. I want to use Measure V, and I publicly swear that I will only use Measure V for police and infrastructure, for roads. Because that's what we're promising people, that's what I'm going to do. Measure V I want to use to maintain the police force. I don't think we can afford to grow the police force right now. I think it needs to be grown at some point in the future, but right now we're going to maintain that. And we're going to use the remainder of Measure V for roads, for infrastructure. A little louder? Okay, thank you. And that is critical because right now we have things on the ballot, things that have been passed by the state that have been making it incredibly difficult for our local law enforcement, raising crime, starting with AB 109, continuing with Proposition 47, and now we have Proposition 57 that's on the ballot this year, and I'm going to use some of my time here to advocate against that. Please, I urge you, vote no on that because that is a real danger to our community. It's going to increase crime. It's going to make it harder for our law enforcement to do their job. And it's already a really difficult job to do. So with that, I'm going to move on to infrastructure. We've done a lot of work on roads. We're going to continue to do a lot of work on roads. However, most of the money we had was TAB funding, and that was a one-time, basically a one-time money that we had, and that's running out. And so right now, we're going to use Measure V to continue maintaining those roads, especially the roads we just repaired, because that's going to protect the investment that we put in. I do not want to see those roads get destroyed and forgotten and left to degrade along with all the other roads in Ridgecrest. And then as we have money, we're going to go back to the older roads and continue to try to fix those, particularly with Measure V funding. So the one part of infrastructure that we don't think about, because we don't see, that is absolutely critical and quite crucial, or it is in critical condition right now, and that is our sewer system. And we don't see that. But quite honestly, our sewer system is in worse condition than our roads are right now. They're falling apart all across the town. We actually have sewer lines that are crumbling and degraded. So we're going to fix that. That is, I tell you, society breaks down really quickly when you don't have that, and that's a very important thing to have. Fiscal responsibility, we're going to continue to grow. Really want to focus on industrial development. That's going to bring new jobs into town. It's not going to be just recycling money that's already here. An example would be, a business that doesn't exist now, but that's actually producing something that's going to be sold to outside of Ridgecrest. So we're going to bring money into Ridgecrest that's not already here. So I just want to close. If you want to find out more about me, I've got a website. It's jimsanders.us. And then I also have a Facebook page. It's Sanders for Mayor. So please go check those out. And with my remaining time, I'm going to answer that religion question. So I believe the First Amendment is very important to me. It absolutely is. I'm out of time. Can I finish that, or is that... I was planning all my statements on 6 minutes.
People want to hear it. 30 seconds.
Okay. First of all, I believe the phrase separation of freedom and state is not in the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects church and state. Thank you. The First Amendment protects religion and prohibits the government from establishing a state religion. That is a very important distinction to make. There is absolutely nothing wrong with someone incorporating their religious values into decisions that they make. But there's absolutely everything wrong with an elected official forcing their values on other people. And I absolutely will not be doing that. The perfect example would be alcohol. Okay, I don't drink alcohol. I have no problem with other people drinking alcohol. It's your life. You do what you want. And I hold the freedom of conscience to be a sacred thing. And that means we all get to choose for ourselves. So.
Very good. 2 questions for Mr. Sanders.
Yes, Jim.
Yes, what's your position on our water situation in the valley?
I believe our water situation needs further study and further research for us to really fully understand the problem. I'll be honest with you, I am not an expert on the water situation, but I've talked to a lot of experts. And my understanding is it takes decades of study, decades of data to really understand what the situation is for our water basin. And right now we do have decades of data. I just don't think it's enough. And so I'm not going to be jumping to solutions right now. I need to find out exactly what the problem is for a very long-term solution. So.
Next question.
Solved all the problems, I guess. We got one? Okay.
Excellent. Well,
Great.
thank you, Jim.